You are now rocking with the Cool Cats and me, the D.E.V. Now, you don't have to be in the cats very long or not too long after getting a cat, I should say. It's quite easy to figure out that there is a problem with cat overpopulation. So it almost leads you to think or ask the question, do cats grow on trees? So this is a pretty serious topic. And if you're anything like me and you're really a cat lover, especially if you're an animal lover overall, when you start to go into, maybe you don't venture into shelters, but just like the PetSmarts and stores where you see these cats, your heart goes out and you want to just get all of them. But obviously we can't do that. So the biggest thing to understand, and many of you do to various degrees, but the biggest thing to understand is that a lot of cats lose their lives in shelters. As a matter of fact, the biggest form of cat fatalities in the United States is getting euthanized in shelters. And so, if again, this is going out to the cat lovers, and if you're watching this video, then 9 times out of 10, that's you. You know, what we can do is our part. First of all, by watching something like this and understanding the subject matter, you know, and secondly, by, as a cat lover, by taking action to do what you can do, because we can't get all of the stray cats and the cats in shelters and put them in our house. I mean, a lot of people try to do that, and that creates another problem. So that's not the answer either. I'll talk about that in this video as well. But what we want to do, if you sincerely are a cat lover, you it's not even that you're trying to, but you want to do your part. You don't want to see all of these cats put to sleep if you understand that that's what's going on. Hey, if you're enjoying the video, make sure you hit subscribe and notifications so you don't miss any future content. Now, the first thing I guess that we should discuss along on this subject matter is just understanding uh, the process on how cats reproduce, because it's very unique, and that's part of the situation. Okay, so it's unlike a lot of animals, and especially us as human beings. We tend to think of everything the way we are. Like I tell, and this is off the subject, but again, y'all should know, or I'll just state it. I'm an animal lover, so I've since a child I've studied animals from the amoeba to the blue whale, and so people, human beings, we have 5 senses. Okay, and the way people tend to look at things is, if we can't understand something through our 5 senses, then we can't relate to it. Okay, but other animals that are on the planet have other senses than we do. Okay, And so just because we don't understand something or can't relate to it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, or it doesn't matter, or what have you. You know, and some of us as cat lovers, we tend to love animals and like animals just as much as people. Some of us like them better than people because people just insensitive a lot of times. But getting back to the subject matter, cat's reproductive system is a lot different, or the cat reproductive process is a lot different than human beings. Okay, the first thing we need to understand is that a female cat, you know, can start to have kittens as early as 4 months of age. Exactly. So, you know, not that people should be having kids this young, but you know, I've heard of people having children as young as 11, which is scary. That's another subject, but I'm talking about 11 years old, not 11 months old. So could you imagine a female cat at 4 months old being able to bear children? But that's the case. So we gotta understand that with cats. Another thing about the cat reproductive process is that cats only stay pregnant for 2 months. So once a female gets pregnant, okay, she's having those kittens in 2 months, not 9 months like us. Okay. And then another thing about this process is after that female has kittens, she can get pregnant again in a few days. So part of understanding why cats reproduce the way they do is because it's like this. You know, it happens so fast. You know, another thing too is female cats don't have menopause, which means that pretty much they can continue to reproduce at any age. Again, unlike humans, you know, now women these days, and you know, your opinion can go one way or another, but women are having children at older ages, some into their early 50s. That's not recommended because of the strain on the body, but this isn't the case with cats, is my point. Female cats can continue to have litters, you know, up until any age. Now, here's a fact, is that one unspayed female cat can be responsible for 400,000 cats over the span of 7 years. That's if none of those kittens that she reproduces are fixed, you know, spayed or neutered. So one cat, if spay and neutering isn't part of the process for any of the offspring, can produce 400,000 in 7 years. That gives you an idea. Now we all know that there are a lot of homeless dogs and cats. We call them strays, right? Now, there's a difference between a stray cat and a feral cat, right? A stray cat is a cat that has experienced human contact in some form or fashion, right? They have a home base, even if they outdoor cats. You know, they have a home where some people look at it as you know, cats should be outdoors, and we'll touch on that. But the cat comes home to eat, drink, shelter, what have you, right? And there's a mix of that or some combination of that. Some cats that are strays, they may have had a home or contact with humans at some point, right? And then you have feral cats. Now, feral cats have been born homeless, if you will. They've never had contact with humans, so there's a difference. All right, but going back to uh, this situation we talking about cats growing on trees and the overpopulation problem. Imagine now we've all seen and we certainly know of feral cat colonies, and some stray cats become part of these colonies. But if you recall what I just talked about how cats reproduce or how female cats reproduce, imagine a feral colony of cats with none of the cats spayed or neutered, and how quickly that colony grows uncontrollably. I mean, so this is an issue. Now, it's not an issue because it's more cats, but again, tying it back to the original point, a lot of these cats get caught up in shelters and they perish, folks. So it's an issue. So, as cat lovers, what can we personally do? Well, the first thing I'm going to mention, as you know, is going to come up in a subject like this, is to spay or neuter your cats. You know, if you spay and neuter your cats, then you are contributing to the situation of lowering the uncontrollable problem of cat overpopulation. Okay, so now you want to get your cat. If you got cats that are neutered, I mean not neutered. If you got cats that are kittens, you want to get them spayed or neutered at an early age. Talk to your vet about what those ages are, but you know, do it young. It's harder when they're older, but it still can be done. But please spay and neuter your cat, um, especially if you have a cat that goes outdoors, which leads me to the second thing that we can do as responsible cat parents, right? Is access to outdoor access. Now, I'm not gonna get into this long. It's an endless debate, battle, fight between cat lovers on should your cat be indoors or should your cat be outdoors. A lot of people believe that it's natural for your cats to be outdoors and what have you. I was going to say all I'm going to say, but that's not true. I'm going to give my 2 cents on this. So let's just talk about the facts, guys. A cat that's outdoors, okay, they live like 6 or 7 years. Now, a cat that's indoor lives an average of 15 to 20 years. Now, math is a strong subject of mine, but you don't have to be good at math to figure out this 15 is longer than 7, right? But if you have a pet, okay, and this is a member of your family, obviously you want to experience that relationship for 15 or 20 longer than 6 or 7. Now, why is that? Because when cats go outdoors, they're just simply exposed to more things. They're exposed to to getting hit by cars. They're exposed to dogs. They're exposed to feral cats that fight could injure them and give them this more disease. And it's just other diseases outside that cats can pick up that, it could shorten their life. Okay, so these are facts, folks. So let's get back to the original point of controlling access. All right. If you control access to your cat going outdoors, all right, what you are doing on this subject of overpopulation of cats is you're controlling them being able to be part of the statistics. Okay. And so that's one thing, that's another thing that we can do. Now, another thing that can help control this situation is something called TNR, which is trap, neuter, and return. Now, there are organizations that do this where they capture feral cats. Because again, feral cats, if they wild, they generally are not going to be spayed or neutered, right? So with that female at 4 or 5 months old being able to get pregnant, spit out a litter, and then in 2 months spitting out that litter, and then in a few days can get pregnant again. I mean, 10 to 15 cats can grow to a couple of hundred in no time. So there are organizations out there that do the trap, neuter, and return, where they just go capture cats and spay and neuter them and return them back to their colonies just for this reason. Now, I wouldn't suggest that you do that because, and if you see or not wild cat, but just cats outside, you don't know if those cats are stray cats, feral cats. This is what their situation is. But what you can do, if you see something like that, you can look up and find one of these agencies to see if they can come to your area and help them do that. So listen, guys, this is a serious subject. For all the cat lovers out there, we love our cats. Oh, I almost forgot one. Another thing that we can do, and this is a big one, adopt cats, right? I probably should have started with that one. But if we have a cat, now y'all, if y'all been watching me for a while, y'all know this one is near and dear to my heart. Okay? You should always have more than one cat. Okay? If your cat loves you and you love your cat, but if you go away or for a period of time or whatever, or even if you're at home, you're not with them 24/7. Cats feel all animals for that point or in that regard. All animals feel more comfortable with their own kind, right? So if you get a cat, at least have two, but that helps with cats getting euthanized because we're taking them into our home, right? And so definitely adopt cats. And people always talk about adopt rather, instead of getting them from a breeder. And I kind of don't agree with I recognize the point because you're adopting from shelters and you're helping them from getting euthanized, and you should do that. But cats and breeders, they need homes too, right? Some of these cats wind up in bad homes or, in different things. And so all cats need homes. Do what you can do. Now, as far as adopting and taking cats in, take as many, if you understand this problem and you truly are a cat and animal lover, try to take in as many cats as you can based on your lifestyle. Now, we've all seen people who got a house full of cats and they all over top of each other. Don't do that. Your heart might be in the right place. That may seem like a good thing to do, but when you have too many cats, you create other problems because the cat's not going to get the attention they need. And having pets can be expensive. They need care. And if you got too many cats and it's not in your budget, the cats are gonna go and not getting the care that they need. That can be a definite problem. So go get your cats and double down, triple, quadruple, whatever you can do. Now remember to treat your animals well. They didn't ask to be there with you, but now all they have is you. Treat them like family. Fam.